Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Raw Ring Report. As you see, the Street Profits win back the World Tag Team Championships from division and fall. As you see, right, the Street Profits back on top of the mountain as tag team champions. We'll get that coming up. And what's next with Street Profits coming up here. Also, too, we talk about this. TNA may be on sale again, but this time the owner, Leonard Asper, may put TNA back on sale. We're going to see what's going on with TNA and a whole bunch of stuff. And two, we talk about this. Cyndi Lauper, singer, songwriter, you name it. Cyndi Lauper has done it. She worked for the very first WrestleMania. Cyndi Lauper gets her own action figure. Ain't that a hoot? Cyndi Lauper. Yeah. We talk about it as we get the Pro Wrestling Show started right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Raw Ring Report. I'm your host, as always, Katie Dixon. Here, glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Raw Ring Report. Joining the conversation using the hashtag Raw Ring Report here. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend. Call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right. We're going to get to meat and bones of the Monday Night Raw with the King of the Ring. You kind of know the two men are going to be in the King of the Ring finals. And these two men are Oberfemby and Jey Uso. They let each other know what they were feeling, what they was thinking, what they're all about. Like I said, Oberfemby, Jey will compete this Saturday at the King of the Ring. Don't forget, the King of the Ring will have predicted outcome for the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring for Night of Champions. Night of Champions predicted outcome special is coming up Saturday. But these two men wanted about who's going to win, earn themselves a main event championship match at SummerSlam. One of these two men will do it. Like you said, we're going to see who's going to be the one to make history as the 2026 King of the Ring winner. It's the most prestigious art that you can think of. Think back to Brock Lesnar, think back to Gunther, think back to last year's Cody Rhodes. A lot of people gunning to be the King of the Ring. One of these two men will earn themselves a championship match at SummerSlam. These two men will be in the finals of the King of the Ring. Oberfemby promised that he wants to be the one to do it to his distinction. So we'll be looking forward to seeing who's going to be next in line to become king. And we'll have predicted outcome special this Saturday for night. Every championship will be defended. Not every championship will be defended, but some championships will be defended as well. But like I said, we're looking forward to seeing that as well between Oberfemby and Jey Uso, who's going to emerge victorious as the King of the Ring. Oberfemby looks like he's the odds-on favorite to me. But we will see between these two men who's going to get the job done. Who wants it the most here. So, like we said, we're going to keep a close eye on this and see who's going to emerge victorious as King of the Ring as well. So, we're going to be looking forward to seeing it and stuff. I'm looking to seeing how it's going to go for Oberfemby and Jey Uso coming up for the King of the Ring tournament. So looking forward to seeing who's going to get the crown and get themselves a main championship match at SummerSlam. You keep saying it till we say it dry. We'll keep an eye on this as well. Well, also too, the WWE Women's Tag Team titles were online as Lively Carrier and David challenge Tag Team Champions Paige and Rebel and Paige put their tag team titles on the Tag Team Championship match that was kind of, to the threshold and stuff like that. So we got to see which one of these two women we're gonna win. These two teams, I mean, say who's gonna win. But it was no brainer that who's gonna win. It was none other than Paige and Brie Bella. Paige and Brie Bella won their match tonight. They won. Uh, Paige and Brie Bella skid away once again as women's tag team champions once again with the gold in hand. But the bigger story was during after the match between Bayley and Liv Valkyria. Liv Valkyria turned heel on Bayley and attacked Bayley. And so tonight, leaving Bayley down and out, Bayley did not expect that from Liv Valkyria. Liv Valkyria attacked Bayley. I don't know if this guy injured her. And so now it's like a new feud that started between Liv Valkyria and Bayley. They once were best friends, but no longer best friends. They really got some issues and problems. It looks like Bayley's going to be challenging her focus on Liv Valkyria now. As Liv Valkyria took heel, it's going to be a day. Speaking of that, Chad Gable looks like he's on a redemption tour. Chad Gable coming back. Chad Gable trying to do what he did to right the wrongs to everybody. He was to his former team that put down America Alpha. He asked them to come out there so he could apologize to them. America Alpha did try to come out there. America Alpha was trying to Tazara, Bolus, and Maxine, but Maxine saying that she wasn't behind it. Maxine agreed, and last year that Chad Gable wasn't being sincere enough, and Chad Gable felt like he did that. Chad Gable felt like he was, I guess, trying to get himself together and stuff like that. It was like Maxine Dupree trying to it was part one. Maybe Chad Gable has changed his heart, has a change of heart and stuff. You took that he was Judgment in the Judgment Day, Gable, what was going on, Chad Gable, Chad Gable wanted to know if he was going to put that Triple A championship, which Chad Gable might deserve a chance. Him and Monday Americano, Dominic Mysterio. I don't know, but I think that leads to Dominic's dad, Ray, determine who gets a shot at the championship as well. So, like you said, it's been to be, you know what, but we'll see how this all's going to play out eventually. But a lot of moving parts going on, even to the part that Rey Mysterio came in between as a competitor, general manager to issue that Dragon Lee might want a shot at the Intercontinental title as well. So Dragon Lee and Ray wants competition. Dragon Lee saying that he'll put the Intercontinental belt on the line against Dragon Lee. Anytime I say against Dragon Lee, so we'll probably see that in the future match. Maybe see it next week. Who knows? But we'll see. But speaking of that, we know that the Queen of the Ring finals, everything is centered around Raw. It's Io Sky will be the Queen of the Ring finalist. She'll compete against Women's World Champion Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan saying that she wants it all. Liv Morgan will not stop. Liv Morgan saying that she wants to be the Queen of the Ring by any means necessary. And Liv Morgan saying that she wants to challenge the WWE Women's Champion for her goal at SummerSlam, which I think WWE's really giving this match away. If you think about it, this is like a SummerSlam match anyway, that you can tell and you can determine that you're going to see coming up with Liv Morgan. Saying she wants all the gold. She'll do whatever it takes to win the gold. And Liv Morgan saying that she'll do. So this is going to be an easy no-brainer match, but we see these two women will meet at Night of Champions for the first time, and then the rubber match, the second match at SummerSlam for the title. So look forward to seeing that as well. Well, we saw LA Knight. He was in the mood tonight. LA Knight went against Jimmy. LA Knight gets the victory over Jimmy. The LA Knight watched real close at the Jimmy's own baby brother Solo did the spike while Jimmy was trying to do the top rope splash. It was like supposed to go. He did do that and so did spike them, giving LA Knight the victory. LA Knight was hesitant at first. LA Knight took advantage that those people would take advantage of. LA did tonight. And LA felt like he needed that win. LA Knight gets himself over by pinning Jimmy, but doing so by watching Jimmy as well, watching Solo, see what Solo was going to do. So we saw that as well tonight. Ethan Page was also in competition as well. Ethan Page himself into total competition. Ethan Page won his match tonight over tonight. Ethan Page himself prepared and ready as well. So a lot of moving parts as well for people. Even to the point that looks like the Judgment Day wanted their money back from Danhausen at the Danhausen, saying he doesn't give out no refunds and stuff. You know, looked like JD shocked himself. He kind of didn't realize what was going on. JD did, but you kind of see that a lot of stuff going on Raw that we kind of saw as well. Well, we get this right here. Seth freaking Rollins making the point that he did an interview that he was talking about. He was talking about facing Bron at Night of Champions side with 15-foot solid steel cage. That's going to happen. We're going to see that match coming up as well. But Seth Rollins laying the blueprint that he will do what he has to do to take down Braun. Seth Rollins saying that what he has to do, he has to do. So Seth Rollins saying look forward to seeing his match against Braun coming up. Well, we said we get to this right here. The World Tag Team titles were on the line. Seth Rollins did play a huge part as you see right here. Austin Theory were were defending the championships against the Street Profits. Angelo, Dawkins, and Montez Ford. Once again, I think sometimes you gotta wonder, like, do the Street Profits ever get tired of want to team up together? Like, you get it, but it's like you neither of them want to be single stars. Guess not. So, let it be. Started stuff. Um, but we saw it as well. But surprising parts in this match. We saw Joe Henry coming out there. Joe Henry coming out there, get his hands on Logan Paul. Joe Henry came out there. And Joe Henry wanted to make a statement. Joe Henry did make a statement as well. That's what Joe Henry did right here. Joe Henry came out there and got his hands on Logan Paul. Logan Paul looking confused and stuff. Joe Henry did try to go after Logan Paul. Logan Paul ran for his life. Joe Henry in the business. I tell you that right now. Or what going on. But we saw Seth freaking Rollins. We thought that was the end. Seth Rollins was done. Seth Rollins came out there. Again. Seth Rollins trying to do that as well. And we saw Seth Rollins cause Bron Breaker and stomp and knocked out Austin Theory. Which again, the Street Profits, Victory and the Street Profits are now your new World Tag Team Champions for a fourth time. Street Profits win it, but no big duty tag team division as well for the Street Profits. The Street Profits are now back on tag team soil once again on the tag team mountain, winning back the World Tag Team Championships, but they need some competition. But it's here now. Now back into the grand scheme of things, back into being tag team champions once again. So, for the Street Profits as well. All right. Street Profits once again, tag team champions once again, winning the tag team titles from Austin Theory and Bron Breakker. All right, that ends the Raw Ring Report. Let's move over to Wrestling Hot Topics. So Wrestling Hot Topics. I'm talking about this right here. I'm talking about this. TNA maybe put up the sale once again. It looks like Ring reports that TNA might be dressing up the Anthem. They want to sell TNA for a bidder. They want at least $30 million for TNA. They brought it for $10 million, and that's what they're asking price from $30 to $50 million. Well, a lot of people are saying that WWE has the first sale bid, but WWE refuses to buy that others can bid. But the Anthem people want someone to buy TNA and cure the debts, but like I said, that's going to be kind of tough and hard. When you buy TNA, if you looking at it, you want to buy the library and stuff, and buy like the intellectual properties, like the rings, the name, the show, the theme, stuff like that. That's what you're looking for. You want to buy like a business and stuff like that. But I don't see it. But they're gonna sell it low. There's somebody they're gonna buy. I'm telling you, and they're gonna keep cure their own debt. That's gonna be someone's gonna be a fool just to cure that debt. And they know that. So I don't see no one really buying TNA like that. Someone's gonna get a low ball offer, like it's gonna be like the last dish sale. Something like I see TNA for like $3 to $5 million, something like that. But no, not no $30 million. I'm sorry. That dude got to really think that he really has a big business. He does, but sometimes you gotta wonder like what that mean for like the TNA deal with AMC, what's going on with that, the TV rights deals and stuff. So we'll keep a close eye on that if TNA gets problems and stuff like that. So speaking of that, girls just want to have fun. Girls just want to have fun indeed. With Cyndi Lauper. Remember Cyndi Lauper from the 1980s singer? Sing that song, Girls Want to Have Fun. She was part of the Rock and Wrestling Connection. But Cyndi Lauper may be getting an action figure. And Cyndi Lauper right here holding an action figure. That's amazing. Cyndi Lauper, Roddy Piper, Captain Lou Albano, the TV set from Cyndi Lauper, part of history on action figure. So Cyndi Lauper, one of the all-time greats, Grammy winner. So Cyndi Lauper will be heading towards immortality as an action figure. So let's see about that. For Cyndi Lauper. Speaking of that, I want to go to this right here. Um, it's like we're seeing this still fish right here. That champions, Will Finley versus Jey Uso 1-on-1. The finals. Who's going to be getting himself a main event championship match at SummerSlam? Jay also made it clear that he wants to go after Cody Rhodes if he wins, but Open Finley made it clear that he don't care either as Cody or Roman. But it looks like he's indicating Roman. We'll see what's going to give coming up. Don't forget predict the outcome and Night Champions review immediately following Night Champions. But speaking of Jay sent this cryptic message saying that if he wins the reign, he already understands the hate, the appeal, and stuff like that. So Jey Uso really knows what's gonna go happen and stuff, but Jay don't care. He just doing it for his own purpose. All right, as we told you, the Street Profits win the World Tag Team Championships over the Vision with the help of Seth Rollins and Joe Henry. Street Profits back on the top in Tag Team Mountain. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. Presents the Raw Ring Report. I've been your host, Kendrick Dix, saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow for the NXT Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show.